In this video, I'm going to demo a few of the Marbleslides. Slide 2 says fix or change one number in the row below to fix the Marbleslides. And when you launch it, you'll see that it misses the stars. Actually, it looks like the blue line has the right steepness or is parallel to where the yellow stars are. So I'm going to focus on adjusting my y-intercept. And what I can do is delete it and change it. So it was a 1 and now it's a 0. And now I'm going to make it into a -1 and a -2. And then I can try to launch it and it works. If I make too many changes, like slide 3 states, I can undo it and get it back to where it was. That's how it was originally. And I can also change it back to what I had it to. Let's look at another one. This is slide 4, fix it number 2. In this one, I need to pick a number to change. And this time, I think it is the slope. So if I'm not sure what steepness to set this to, I might just start sort of slowly or incrementally changing this so it is less steep. Then to go to a fraction, I either can type a decimal or I can type 1 and the slash button is at the question mark button in 2. It is important though that the X, if somehow it got deleted, that you don't put the X in the denominator, that you arrow over to the right and that one. Cool. And there might be other answers. Let's just try one just to see. That one almost collected it. That will maybe also work aside from just a half. But it's going to need to be a steepness that's probably close to a half. It doesn't have to be exactly a half. As long as you gather up all the stars, then it works. Slide 5, they start to include these braces. We'll be also entering these, which means that on your keyboard, you're going to look for the braces, which are over near the letter P, and the less than or greater than symbol, which is down near the question mark button. So for this one, I'm going to just adjust this restriction. And I can see that when I do 3, actually it looks like the line stops at 3, 2, 1, or 0. And it tells basically the program where to stop the line. So I think I was actually going in the wrong direction. So I'm going to increase it. And it's going to launch the marble. So I'll see, oh, there. So that stopped at 6. And it caused the marble to launch off and gather up all the stars. And then at some point, we'll look at a challenge slide. Challenge slide 2 might be actually a better one to start with than challenge slide 1. I'm going to enter in my own equations in slope-intercept form. And I'm also going to restrict these at times. So on this one, I might have an equation. It looks like my y-intercept is going to be at 14. And it looks like I want the slope to go down. And I just picked -1 for the slope. I'm going to make it a little less steep, maybe -0.5. Ooh, perfect. And if it hits something, it'll even tell me where to restrict it. So I'm going to have it be 4. So I want the line to stop there, which means I'm going to type in my brace. So shift the button near the letter P, X is less than 4. And it will even close it for you if you just hit enter. And I've got my first part of this challenge slide done. And by the way, if I type it the other way, not sure which way, you can see that it's going to graph the right half of the line. This is read as X is greater than 4, so everything to the right. So I actually want it the way I had it. And then I might create some sort of other line, maybe even the same steepness. Try that. and we will adjust the y-intercept. Let's go, just start with like 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so that looks correct to land here, but I can tell that the marble is just going to get stuck. So I'm going to make the steepness a little less, which is maybe negative 1/3. I'm not sure what's going to make it more or less steep. I just try something. So if I had, yeah, just adjust it. Okay, now I'm going to move my line down and then maybe up and then maybe down. And now I'm going to restrict it. I'm going to have the x is 11. X is less than 11. Let's see if it gets over that little lip there. Cool. So once again, that was sort of some info on using slope intercept form and restrictions to complete Marbleslides. It is a little bit of adjusting as you go, knowing that the value in front of x is your slope or steepness, looking at your graph to figure if it's up or down, and then starting with some value, and then also looking at your y-intercept, which is where the line crosses the y-axis. That's a little bit easier to sort of predict or see, typing in a value. And if you type something and it's not what you want, you can just adjust it and move it by changing M and B until you get the line where you need it. And then at the very end, deciding how to chop off your line or restrict it to collect the stars.